Hey, I'm Brian Grubb, and these are my 5 key points to pulling the perfect wakeboard or wake skate set. The number one goal for the driver is to try to create the best possible experience for the rider with the available conditions. Wakeboarding and wake skating aren't a team sport, but the relationship between the rider and the driver is crucial to quality time on the water. The driver is in control of everything, and the rider is basically just following along behind the boat. So the driver's number one priority is to keep the rider safe. This means being aware of other boats and obstacles out on the lake and getting back to the rider quickly when he or she falls. A good driver will always be paying attention too and not distracted by playing on their phone or with the radio. The driver is also in charge of making sure the wake is even for the rider. If there is too much weight on one side of the boat, the wake will be lopsided and not be fun to ride. Try moving people around the boat or balance the boat with the ballast tanks to fix this. More weight is needed on the side of the boat that has the whitewash on top of the wake. You're going to want to pick the best place to ride on the water. When you get out there, there's a few things to look for when deciding where to ride. First, try to look at the wind and find the line that is out of the wind and on the leeward side of the lake. The second thing to look for is the water depth. The deeper the water, the better the wake will be. Any depth over 10 feet should produce a quality wake. The wake will be best for the rider when the boat is going in a straight line too. So try to find a long run so you don't have to turn around often. This will also keep the conditions smoother for longer. You also want to try to set the boat up specifically for each one of your riders. The Malibu wake setters can be set up many different ways depending on the rider's needs. For a beginner rider, try setting the boat up with little or no ballast weight and the wedge stowed. Then, to increase wake size, begin adding additional weight and start using the wedge. When I ride behind my 23 LSV, I fill the ballast tanks all the way and set the power wedge to the first piano key setting. This gives the wake a great shape that has a nice long transition to take off of and land on. By using the power wedge at different angles, you can make the wake steeper or flatter depending on the rider's preference. The steeper the angle on the wedge, the steeper the wake will be. With the zero-off speed control, the driver won't have to worry about holding the speed and can focus on driving the proper line. Always try to hold a straight line for as long as possible to give the rider ample time to do tricks. When your rider falls, the driver needs to pull the power back to idle and then slowly turn the boat around to pick the rider up. This will keep the rollers from going down the riding line. Never do a high-speed turn unless your rider takes a bad crash and you need to get back to them quickly. When you get to the end of your running line, a pre-turn loop works the best to keep the conditions calm. I like to turn out to the left on a 45-degree angle from the line, and after a few seconds hooking back to the right to complete the turn. When done properly, the boat should be looped back and heading right back down the riding line. So by using a few of these tips that we just went over, you'll probably be the best driver out on your lake.